So what, you mentioned being more aggressive. I guess what are some of the key topics? I guess the word is platform, but what are some of those things that you ran on?
So the key topics were, commercial development is one of the things, and obviously in a COVID environment, that's even more difficult than it would have been beforehand. We see a contraction with a great number of restaurants and things of that nature around the country, as far as national chains suffering and things of that nature. But even doing that, I still think there's room for growth and opportunity in our community. And so I take, like I say, a bit of a different approach. Go out and hire some people that are particularly skilled in those things, develop maps and et cetera, and go at it from that direction. Which we've already begun that process. Uh, that's one of the things. And just like I say, general face of the community, get out, go to a lot more meetings, perhaps represent our community with mayors associations, with the Jefferson County Commission, with our state representatives, et cetera. I just want to be a full-time mayor and be after it all the time. And that's kind of what I was running on.
And that was kind of the next thing I was going to ask. I know that the former mayor Hoyt Sanders, who was the only mayor since Pinson's inception as a city, was that more important now to be a full time mayor to do all those things?
I think we've grown to that point, yes. And I served with Hoyt for 12 years, and Hoyt is an extremely fine man, a good guy. He and I are just a little bit different in our approach. I would say probably more broadly different than some people might realize. It's not that was not a good mayor. Hoyt was a good mayor. He did a really good job for us. I think he helped build a foundation. I was involved with that for the first 12 years. And I think he did a really good job. He always represented us with great character and dignity, and he always would. And so there was nothing personal at all with my having run against Hoyt. It was just a matter of what I feel like I had to offer. But yeah, being full time was part of it. I felt like I was at a point in my career that I could step out of that and move into a full time role as a mayor. And I felt like that was important for our community. Yeah.
Sure. So personally, I mean, tell me about yourself. How long you been in Pinson? What's the background? All that.
I've been in Pinson for almost 30 years. I moved here when I married my wife, June. She was from Pinson, graduated from Pinson Valley High School in 1982. I graduated from Fultondale High School the same year, but we met each other and got married in 1991. And that's when I moved to Pinson, and it became my hometown, basically. And uh, just after being involved with the council in those different capacities for the last 16 years, just have grown to love this community and try to involve myself in as many things as I could to lend my assistance and be of help and assistance wherever I can.
Yeah. Well, and I know specifically, just talking to you over the years and in other avenues, like when I've sought out information or stories or whatever it might be in Pinson. I mean, you've kind of been the go-to guy. I mean, there's the Pinson Education Foundation. I know you're very active, even like on Facebook, about letting know people about various events or games. And obviously pushing for different city improvements. I mean, is it safe to say not many people love this city like you do?
I don't know if it's safe to say not many people love the city like I do. I think there's a lot of people that love the city the way I do, but I would put me at the top of the list of people that love the city for sure.
Yeah.
Not to say I'm better than anyone else, but
Right.
yeah, I have through the years and development of my in my career, I developed skill sets that allowed me to connect things very well, and that's something I've always been good at. And like you just said, there's a lot of people beyond yourself, but many others that when they want to know what's going on in Pinson, they'll call me. If I don't know what's going on, I can figure it out pretty quickly because of all the people that I do know. And I've always tried to play that role and be that guy. And I think those, again, as being mayor, I think that also satisfies and helps. You had the Pinson Education Foundation, which I was fortunately the executive director for several years. Then we have Turkey Creek Nature Preserve. We have our schools. We have our library, our city functions. There's just so many things that go on. And I love being in the middle of all of it and being able to connect all the dots for people when they call me and say, hey, how can I get in touch with Coach Shade? I love being able to help them get in touch with Coach Shade or Mr. Turner or Mr. Graham at the middle school or what have you. I just have always enjoyed being able to connect all those pieces for people.
Yeah. So what is it? Just you like what do you love about Pinson? I mean, let's just say you're out riding down Highway 79. You're down Main Street. What is it that strikes you just about the city itself that really keeps you stuck there?
Sorry about it. You,
Yeah, I'm here.
all right, I had a phone call coming in. I had to push it to voicemail. My bad. Uh,
No, you're good.
so you were just basically saying, what do I love about Pinson? Uh,
Yeah,
Pinson is a pretty unique community. Like I say, I grew up in Fultondale, which is a lot more akin to a city type of community, the way it was built, and it's right next door to Birmingham. I mean, 5 minutes outside of being at the Civic Center. So I was used to more of a city oriented type community. When I came to Pinson, what I loved about it is it kind of gave you a little bit of that feel, but it also gave you a rural feel. So it gives you both. You can be out in the country living on a large piece of property, or you can live in a neighborhood. It just kind of offers all of those things, which a lot of towns and cities around us don't really offer this kind of vibe that Pinson has. And so that's kind of what I love about its uniqueness.
yeah. And I've always kind of thought that too, just from the just from covering Pinson over the years. I mean, there just seems to be a lot of potential there, whether it be commercially, residentially, parks, just space that the city has to grow in kind of whatever direction y'all want it to.
Right. And, we have our bicentennial park that we opened a few years ago, which serves the community in a great way. People can go down there and enjoy the walking track or play disc golf. And you have the splash pad and a party room. And so it offers the amenities that people need. And there's additional amenities that we can add to that park. And those are things that over the next few years, we're going to try and figure out how to give more amenities to the general public at large through that property, as well as our Pinson Youth Sports program down here has fantastic baseball, softball, football, soccer, basketball, et cetera, and continue to grow that to the needs of the community and try to figure out where is the best place to spend dollars for the people that live in this town.